Hey everybody, so it may not seem like it, but this is a massive week for Bitcoin. Last night, something really exciting happened, and so I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. It has to do with Elon Musk. He went on an application called Clubhouse to share his thoughts, and this included thoughts on Bitcoin, Mars, implanting a microchip in a monkey's brain, and all sorts of things, even down to memes. So we're going to talk about that, what that means for Bitcoin and your investment in Bitcoin. And then we're also going to be talking about what's happening in the next 48 hours on the 3rd of February this week with MicroStrategy. So let's start with Elon Musk. Elon Musk is the richest individual on the planet. This is as of just a few weeks ago. And outside of Tesla, he started several other companies. He was part of the original PayPal mafia. He's got Tesla and SolarCity and the Boring Company and all of these other projects going on. And he's literally the Nikola Tesla of our time, the Leonardo da Vinci of our time, helping advance our species. So when he says something, you can imagine everybody listens. The global market has been tuning in, and it has ripple effects beyond anything you can measure. So what happened? Last night, he went on the invitation-only application called Clubhouse, and he started sharing his open thoughts about what's going on in the economy and in Bitcoin. And what did he say? Well, for starters, he said, look, I've got to watch what I say here because some of these things can really move the market. For example, as a joke, he was tweeting about Dogecoin, D-O-G-E coin, which I'm sure you guys have heard about, which started off as a meme. So it went from a meme to a digital currency to now being worth tens of billions of dollars, all because of a joke. And when Elon Musk tweeted about it, it went up over 800% last week alone. So there are people who made over 4,000% return in the last 20 days or so, who have been holding it when it was just a fraction of a cent. And it reached all the way up above 4 cents. So anyway, so whatever Elon Musk says can really move the market. So he said, look, I got to be careful with what I say. Now, having said that, I do at this point think Bitcoin is a good thing, and I am a supporter of Bitcoin. This is the world's richest man coming out and saying he is a supporter of Bitcoin. One of the smartest people on the planet coming out and saying, you know what? I'm a supporter of Bitcoin. I'm a bit late to the party, but I am a supporter of Bitcoin. And he even acknowledged that. He said, look, I'm 8 years late and I apologize, but I'm now a supporter of Bitcoin. And what else did he say? Well, he said, I think Bitcoin is really on the verge of getting broad acceptance by conventional finance people. That's massive because that can apply to finance individuals at corporations, the central banks, the institutions, the asset managers. And this is huge because Elon Musk has an ear into the inside circle that most people can't even imagine tapping into. So if he's saying, look, I know what I'm saying can potentially move the market. Despite that, I'm saying I'm a supporter of Bitcoin, even though I'm a bit late to the party because his friends told him about it 8 years ago. And guess what? I think Bitcoin is really on the verge of getting broad acceptance by conventional finance people. This is huge. And if we think about what else this means, well, MicroStrategy is having a special conference next week. But before we get to that, check this out. This is from as of December 31st, 2020, so just a handful of weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. And if you take the market cap of Tesla, right, publicly traded organization Tesla, and you compare it to the market cap of the top automobile manufacturers, it's mind-blowing. Tesla is literally bigger than several of the top automobile manufacturers in the world put together. Now, guess what? Elon Musk was late to the auto manufacturing world. Did that stop him from taking it over, from disrupting it, from driving with innovation and changing the way we drive and the concept of self-driving cars and smart cars altogether? No. Ford has been around for decades, as is BMW and Volkswagen and Toyota. But guess what? Tesla was a new kid on the block. and has turned the market upside down and is more valuable than most of its competitors combined. So, what does this mean? Well, do you imagine someone who's done this with the auto manufacturing industry, who was late to the auto manufacturing industry, is just going to sit on his hands and watch the Bitcoin price appreciate or not do anything with Bitcoin? Absolutely not. You can only imagine what Elon Musk is doing. And that is accumulating as much Bitcoin as possible, possibly considering taking the cash balance, the treasury of Tesla, and hedging that with Bitcoin by buying Bitcoin. And why would he do that? Well, you have companies like MicroStrategy, the CEO and founder, the chairman of the board, Michael Saylor, who's a billionaire himself, a very successful individual, who's not hurting for money or needing to work, coming out and doing something revolutionary. In the last several months, he took the cash balance of MicroStrategy, a publicly traded company on the NASDAQ, and he used it to buy Bitcoin. And if you look at this tweet from earlier today, MicroStrategy tweeted that in 2020, they purchased around 70,000 Bitcoins at an average cost of 1.12 billion US dollars at an average price of about 16,000 per Bitcoin. They did this with the counsel of tax advisors, lawyers, Bitcoin experts, and some of the smartest people in the world. And they created a playbook for how to do that. They didn't just go out to the market and do that once. They bought this in increments over time, and they bought this strategically, so they weren't manipulating the price of Bitcoin in the market or sounding any alarms that could potentially manipulate the market. And they said, look, we're going to have a conference this week. This is on the 3rd of February, 2021, and we're going to open this playbook to any CEO, to any corporation that is interested for absolutely free. Because so many people were calling Michael Saylor asking him, hey, how did you do it? We want to do it. Talk to us. Talk us through your playbook, your step-by-step process. How did you get the board to agree to this? And so they said, you know what? We're just going to have an event, an invitation-only event that folks have to register for, validate their identity. And what did Michael Saylor say? He said, I've never seen so many CEOs sign up to attend one of our events. Send yours or come join our sessions and report back to your team. Every company can benefit from plugging into Bitcoin, the Bitcoin monetary network, simply as a hedge against inflation, let alone Bitcoin as a technology, but simply as a hedge against inflation. And then if we think about Bitcoin as a technology, the possibilities are endless. And so this is a conference, a virtual conference called Bitcoin for Corporations. It's right there on the website, on MicroStrategy's website. Every boardroom for every publicly listed company, it's only a matter of time, is having this conversation. Do we want to hold US dollars that are only deprecating every single day? Here's a fact. $1 from 2010 can now only buy you about 46, 47 cents worth of goods. That's how much the US dollar has been devalued, right? We know that since 2008, it's been devalued over 75%. In the last 12, 13 months alone, we know it's been devalued close to 30% with all of the stimulus and the trillions of dollars that we're printing through the central banks. 3 trillion last year, 2 trillion this year so far, and we're only 2 days into February. And guess what? Every single sophisticated economy in the world is hitting print, and devaluing their currency, which is pegged to the US dollar, because we know that with the 1944 Bretton Woods Agreement, and we know that the US dollar is only being devalued. What does that tell you? Once all of these companies, and the last time I checked, over 2,000 companies, 2,000 corporations had signed up to attend this virtual conference to learn about how they can take their dollars that are only being devalued, being depreciated every day, and turn it into Bitcoin. What's going to happen to the price of Bitcoin if there's only a fixed supply of Bitcoin and a lot of people who own Bitcoin are not selling it, and you have this large influx, this massive tsunami of corporations wanting to buy Bitcoin? What's going to happen to the price? Is it going to go down or is it going to go up? Well, when the supply is not changing and the demand is increasing, what happens to the price? It goes up. So this is very exciting news. You have the world's richest person, Elon Musk, saying he's a supporter for Bitcoin, which is massive because he knows what he says can move the market. And you have a virtual conference inviting some of the largest corporations globally on the planet, thousands of them, learning about how they can use their cash balance, their tens and hundreds of millions of dollars, maybe even billions of dollars, just like MicroStrategy, to buy Bitcoin, which we know has a fixed supply, can never be devalued because no central bank, no individual, no corporation, no legislative body can increase the supply or inflate the supply of Bitcoin, can manipulate the price in any single way. And we know it's portable, we know it's safe, it's never been hacked before, and we know it's the future. So this is really exciting news. Thanks for tuning in. If you found this video helpful, let me know. Drop me a comment. If you want to see videos about specific topics, let me know. Just go in there right now, drop in a comment. I'd love your feedback. And then go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you want to get notified every time I post a video, they'll be short and sweet. You can hit the bell and choose your notification setting. Thanks for tuning in. Fortune favors the bold.